Welcome to 100 Yards of Football. It's our college football preview. As the number one ranked, University of Alabama takes on Auburn this Saturday in the Iron Bowl. If you like the video today, please come and share it. I'm your host, Vincent Turner, and joining me this evening is a very talented coach on any level, but he's the defensive coordinator in North Atlanta. He did an outstanding job this season. He knows all about football. And by the way, he wants me to tell you this before we go on this evening. You're looking at his hat right now. He's the University of Alabama's number one fan, Kevin the Bull Jones. So if you like the video this evening, please comment and share it, as he will help me break down the Iron Bowl between the number one ranked University of Alabama, Roll Tide, taking on the Auburn Tigers. How you doing this evening, Coach?
I tell you what, B, this is a great day for football, a great time of the year for football. And with everything going on in this world, boy, I tell you what, the stars starting to align this Saturday at 3:30 for you, what's going down in Tuscaloosa, and I just can't wait. So it's great to be a football fan. It's great to talk football here in the ATL.
I got one question. Is it going to be the big payback in Tuscaloosa on Saturday?
Oh, wait a minute. Let me see. Let me put him on my shoulder, right? Yes. Is it going to be a big payback? Is it? Yes. Okay. He said yes. See, this is what's going to happen. And it's going to be a great game because hats off to the Tigers for the season that they're having. Very impressive win. They made some adjustments last week against a very tough Tennessee Vol. Even though they are a young program, but they're still a tough team because you're talking SEC. But they made some adjustments, and actually they were down 10-0, and they came back, made some adjustments, and got the ball deep to Anthony Schwartz, who's the fastest football player in the country. Got him the football the way they should, and I'm sure all the Tiger fans have been waiting for things like that to happen. Big Tank, the running back, got hurt in the game, and they had to have Williams' kid come in and spell, and he had a great game. So the offensive explosiveness happened later after some adjustments. But here's the thing that really amazed me about what this is going to end up being. You know, everybody wants to call it a redemption from Mac Jones. Well, let me tell you what Coach Saban's talking about. Coach Saban's talking about reduce the mental errors. Don't get too crazy up for the game. Treat it like another game that was on the schedule. Understand, yes, you played with these guys in high school, compete against them in high school. Some of them were even your teammates. But when it's all said and done, the focus and the standard of Bama Roll Tide football is be the best you can be at all times. People want to talk about our defense. They want to get on Pete Golden. They want to get on his case. Listen, sports fans, and this is from a coaching standpoint. We gave up 3 points, okay? 3 to a Kentucky team that is not that bad. Okay, we're talking about a pretty good Kentucky team. Okay, Coach Stoops does a great job. So I'm on that bandwagon about let's not shortchange. Let's not find something to pick at. Let's find something to rejoice about to get ready for this game. You know, yes, Mac Jones had 2 interceptions that cost us the game last year. Okay, it really did. 100-yard interception return, you know, in spite of everything that he went through. So, yes, everybody wants to say redemption. Listen, it's football one-on-one. I got to beat you before you beat me. Okay, we're going into this game on a 30-game win streak against SEC East opponents. Okay, but more important than that, we have a 96-game win streak against unranked opponents. And when everybody was crying about the defense has begun to swell up. And guess what, Vincent? One of my favorite players on the team, because of the injuries that he sustained and he prevailed through, Dylan Moses didn't have not one tackle in the game. Not one tackle in the game. And they were able to shut out Kentucky. And the Taylor kid is a pretty good player. He just didn't have it this past Saturday. So guess what? Those brothers are going to get into it in the backyard. It's going to be fun. It's going to be great to see. Bo Nix is an exciting quarterback in the SEC. He does so many things well, and we're going to have to be able to deal with that. all the up tempo, those things have caused us problems in the past with Coach Kiffin, and we all know that. So Bama fans, don't sweat. Act like you've been there. Act like you've been there, because it's going to be a great game. We had four running backs this past Saturday scored touchdowns. So even though Devontae Smith, who, congratulations, broke the SEC record for most touchdowns in the history of SEC, he's got now 32, passing Amari Cooper as well as Chris Dorling. You know, now he caught 9 passes, but we got some other kids into the groove. Jaleel Billingsley, tight end, had some good big catches, 3 catches, 78 yards. So we got a chance to see some other kids do something for Alabama. And guess what? On defense, Pete Golden played 22 players on defense. So are we ready for the game? Yes, we are. And it's all or nothing. So I can't wait till 3:30 this Saturday.
I'm going to say this about the University of Alabama. It was one question that I told you that I had about them in the middle of the season was their defense. And over the last 2 weeks, it seemed like that problem's been solved. When I look at this Alabama team, I'm just so impressed that you look at Bama, they have a star player at every position. Offensive line, Alex Leatherwood. Receiver position, Devontae Smith. Running back position, Najee Harris. In my opinion, Mac Jones, and maybe I'm a little bit wrong, but if I had to say a young man who was going to win that big Heisman Trophy in New York, he would get my vote because he's played flawless this year. Defensively, wow. Dalen Moses, linebacker. The corner, Patrick Surtain. The D-line, Christian Barmore. They have a star player at every position. And over the last 2 weeks, let's be honest, they've really been cruising. Like you remember that song about Smokey Robinson, Cruising? That's how much talented they are than any other football team right now in the SEC. But what's really been impressive is I want to talk about Devontae Smith this evening. As you said, he broke the wide receiver record for most touchdowns in the SEC. But, man, to me, pound for pound, he might be one of the top 5 football players that came through Alabama. Real talk. If you look at his stats, what he's doing every game after Jalen Waddle went down, this guy game continuously goes up through double teams, triple teams. They find a way to get the ball to him. And we tend to forget 4 years ago as a true freshman, he caught the winning touchdown in the national championship game. Don't even look like we don't even remember him for that. But, man, I'm telling you, he's a special football player. And in my lifetime, I've seen a lot of great receivers come through this college game. And when I look at Devontae Smith, I don't want to say in comparison to anybody, but I'm going to talk about worth ethic, production, the ability to get open when it's stacked against you, when you stack against double, triple coverage. And the only guy I saw do that on the college level, he didn't play D1 football. He played the Division II. You know who I'm finna go with. Out of the state of Mississippi. He's out of Ena Bena, the great Jerry Rice. I'm serious. Devontae Smith, worth ethic, the way he plays, the way he go about his business, he reminds me of Jerry Rice, man. And to me, I've seen a lot of great football players. I don't want to repeat this. And Alabama's had, and you know, it's had a lot of them, from Cornelius Bennett to Derek Thomas to Julio Jones. But this young man, I would put him in the top 5. And I'm going to tell you more than anything. Auburn has got a good football team. Bo Nix, as you said, has played well over the last 2 weeks. I think he's completing 7% of his passes. They got some people outside, and Anthony Schwartz, as you mentioned, the young man, Seth Williams. But, man, it's something about Alabama this year that it don't take a blind man to know they on a mission. Yeah. They on a serious mission. I'm finna get on your bandwagon this evening. Leonard Skinner, Sweet Home Alabama, baby. And the only thing that really was stopping them from I consider greatness this season was their defense. Mm-hmm. But you said, hold on, don't nobody get excited. You said they were young,
Yeah.
But you say at the end, they will start coming together as a defensive unit. And man, to me, they're the most complete football team in the country. And I seen them hanging the trophy. I don't know what Clemson is doing over there. Trevor Lawrence is going to come back. I know Notre Dame is playing good football. I know everybody's trying to buy Florida with Kyle Trask.
Right.
But to me right now, this University of Alabama football team is very special, and they on a mission.
Right.
And that's all I got to say. Roll Tide.
Well, here's the thing, and Coach Saban mentioned it at the end of the game when he did his press conference. He said, they were asking questions about how he felt about the team and what they did right and some adjustments. And here's a key word that he used that personifies more than anything else. He said, during the beginning of the game, we had to settle down and get prepared to make adjustments to some of the motions that they had. He said, and we didn't do a great job with that. He didn't say good job. He said we didn't do a great job with that early in the first part of the game. They only had 5 explosive plays. According to Bama football, that's plays of 13 yards or more. Okay, of those 5 explosive plays, they had the whole game. 3 of those came in the first half. So that tells you what happened the latter parts of the game. But here's the power word that he used, that even when you go to the football clinics, and I'm sitting there with thousands of other great coaches from all across America, all shapes and sizes of colors, men coming together and women that come to the coaching clinic. Everybody's there. He talks about their standard of excellence and accountability for what you're supposed to do on each play. Now, I'm not taking anything away from other people and coaches, but what I can tell you is it's about being able to listen, they don't have any 2-star rated kids on their roster. Okay, everybody is a 5 or 4. Okay, let's go ahead and give it what it is. You a 4-star or you're a 5-star. Okay, Trey Sanders is out for the season. He was the number 2 running back. Robinson was either 4 or 5. Okay, the guys behind him are either 4 or 5. Rodell Williams, 4 or 5. McClellan was a 4 or 5 rated kid coming out of high school. So you're going to take those kids that been the tops on their teams and put all of them in one room. It's powerful. It's amazing. And the productivity that you see, I'm going to tell you when I knew that it was going to be a great game for the defense. Christian Barmore had several big hits at the beginning of the game. Okay, I started getting goosebumps because really he hadn't gotten off this year as far as being able to be that standard, once again, that word, the standard of all those Daquan Williams and all those number 1 draft picks. A lot of people that follow Bama ball felt like he wasn't living up to what he's supposed to do. But he jumped off the screen on Saturday evening, and he came out with early in the game and made big plays. Okay, Jordan Battle had some great plays in the pick and interception. DeMarco Hellams. These kids are young kids. Yes, the old man in the group, you're right, is Patrick Surtain. Okay, and so in the secondary, when remember everybody was mad because Ole Miss torched us for over 400 yards in the air, everybody was looking crazy. Fans, no need to fear. Real Crimson Tide is here. Don't have to worry about that anymore. There is a standard of commitment to I'm talking about a man getting the best kids at their position across the nation to buy in to success and how to get it done. See, that's what I'm really saying. When people say, "Oh, he's just I don't hate any other team." And listen, there are great coaches out there. Will Muschamp's a great coach. Kirby Smart. Okay, Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn came from the high school ranks, where quote, some people feel like high school coaches can't make it to that level. But Gus Malzahn has been there and done that. And then he's come back and hired some high school coaches to be on his staff and some other positions on his staff. And those guys have gone on to be coaches in other places, people that I know personally. So let's give credit where credit is due. You're going to see a battle of 2 very good coaches. Every year, somebody wants Gus Malzahn to lose his job. And then what does he do every year? He wins a big game. And everybody has to be quiet and leave him alone till next year. It's the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. Everybody wants the hoorah and the big deal, but everybody understands. Ray Lewis said it profoundly. I heard him say this one time. It's about peaks and valleys. Okay, these are the SEC. These kids are going to be playing on Sunday afternoon. Okay, so what Nick Saban does and what he has taught his coaches do is everybody buys into that same level of respect for how to get it done. And the standard, that long word, in the military, we call it standard operating procedure. Well, Coach Saban calls it the standard, and it's the Bama standard. And that's what you're going to see at 3:30 come this Saturday afternoon. It's going to be a great game. I don't know if Tank Billingsley is going to be ready to play. Bigsby is going to be ready to play. I know he got a hip pull and a little injury. Those things hurt. Also, Broderick Ham played for a good friend of mine, Nick Davis, who used to be the head coach at Spalding when Broderick Ham is there. Now he's at Fayette County. And good luck, Coach Davis, going into the state playoffs. But Broderick Ham got hurt in the game, a lower leg injury. And that kid has had a tough collegiate career. He battled just to get there through so many personal things he had to deal with his health. So now they also had on the right side, Alec Jackson got hurt in the game, hurt his hand. So they got the right tackle and left tackle had to come into the game and be ready to play against one of my fan favorites, Will the Terminator Anderson. Okay, Will, when you come home, once y'all win that championship, Will, you come on home. I got some pass rush moves. I want to go with you because we just going to fellowship. We're going to have football fellowship. But anyway, that is what you're going to have. So Auburn's got some things to deal with, but it's almost like, the rivalry, backyard rivalry. They all know each other. So let's get it on, 3:30, okay? And when it's all said and done, yes, Devontae Smith has had a prolific season, okay? But those other guys are not contributing, which makes it even better. So everybody follows that one word again, Vincent. I call it the standard of Crimson Tide football.
The score in the game on Saturday.
Woo! Well, we're averaging over 46 points a game, and we're only giving up the average 19 points a game. Of course, almost 50-something of those almost came against Ole Miss, all those points we gave up in that one game. So here's what I see happen. I see a close game until the third quarter, and then the track's going, the speed break, the brakes are going to come off. Okay, what does that mean? That means we're going to go to what's called that third and fourth quarter and that fifth quarter of the whole training regimen of roll tide football. We're going to go ahead and ground and pound. And I don't think that those Tigers or War Eagles, whatever they want to be that day of the week, I don't think they're going to be able to handle that. It's going to be like this the whole game, Vince. It's going to be this, and it's eventually going to wear on them. Leatherwood, Landon Dickerson, Brown. It's going to be beautiful to watch them. It's going to be truly the running game that's going to decide it, and we're going to win by a big score. We're going to put up 48 points in the game. We're going to give up 24 points. Bama wins, roll tide.
Another question right now. Who will be the 4 teams in your college football playoff as of this moment?
Well, number 1, of course, Alabama. Number 2, Notre Dame. Number 3 is Clemson. And number 4 right now, I'm not sold on Ohio State. I just watched them beat Indiana, and they had suspect situations in the secondary going on there in that game. And a pick 6 is the reason why they would escape through that alive. Now, unfortunate part about it is how is it going to be determined that they get to still go? So in my book, I don't know if I put Ohio State in there right now. I'm sorry, Ohio State fans. Okay, you faced a very good team that was undefeated, and you did prevail. So the coach in me probably says you should be number 4. The fan in me says you didn't prove it yet.
The fan in you says who will be number 4, the 4th team.
Right now, number 4, I'm still. It's a toss up for me. It's a toss up, and I think that a team from out west should get it. I don't know why Oregon is not getting any love yet. I think that they should. Coach Cristobal has done a great job, and I know it's biased, but we got to give some of the West Coast some love. I really do. and I think they should be considered for that, even though they won't have as many games on record as we will here in the SEC. And listen, here's the fantastic thing about it. You listen, Florida, we're going to face them in the SEC championship game, and if they give us a tough game, which they can with Kyle Trask, and we come out, we're still going to come out victorious, but still those style points make a difference. And I saw the wall and the shield crack on those Buckeyes this past Saturday. I saw it crack, Vincent. So that tells me if you can crack, then you can bleed. If you can bleed, you can lose.
Well, you didn't bring the team that I thought you would say, but I'm going to go on and end it on the video today. What you think about the Cincinnati Bearcats?
I think that Cincinnati is having a fantastic season, but I think that Liberty stole some of their shine as far as the glass slippers and the teams that somebody need to look at and say somebody should give an eye towards them. I think that Liberty stole some of that gloom for them, that light. Okay, yes, they just lost to NC State this past weekend, but I think that they still are having a great season. The problem is the conference that they're in. So, Cincinnati is doing a great job in their conference. You can't take that away from them. But until they beat a Penn State, until they beat, Ohio State, until they beat a Wisconsin, you got to get through Wisconsin on some of this stuff before you can even be thought about some of those other spots.
How serious is Northwestern under Pat Fitzgerald?
Coach Fitzgerald has always had a pleasure seeing him at a Nike clinic one time, and his insight on football and defense is just amazing. They are once again. You're going to have to go through that. You're going to have to take out Ohio State, and let's just keep it right there. They are going to be the darlings of that conference until somebody takes them off. Indiana had a shot, didn't get done, but hats off to Coach Allen. They never quit. They kept fighting, and it was a pick six that took them out. And they showed a crack in the armor for the secondary, which I still think with the Buckeyes is one of the best in the nation. They still a pretty
Two
good.
more questions to end our segment tonight. The next head coach at South Carolina when it's all said and done.
Well, you probably stumped me with that one because, the coach in me is just, it's just so tough. Here's my feeling, and I want all the sports fans that are listening to hear this. Due to the pandemic that we're going through, the ups and downs, highs and lows, the adjustments, preparing for sudden change. This kid can play. This kid is sick. The same thing as you and I go to our daily jobs. Either we can go to work, we can't. I personally don't feel like a person should be fired. I mean, it's just too much. You're asking 18, 19, 20-year-olds to govern themselves and not hang out and get COVID. Now, with all that being said, okay, I think that it would be Coach Freeze's job to say no to. But don't forget about Billy Napier, who has an inside. He is part of the Coach Saban tree. And I believe because of that, he has a great chance of being possibly nominated. Also, Coach Ron Roberts, who's at Baylor's defense coordinator, also part of the Saban tree. That Saban tree is real, and I think that it could happen at any time. And so I think it's Coach Freeze's to say no to. Which he might say no. But when it's all said and done, Coach Napier is going to be the next guy in the SEC.
And to end it tonight, what was your opinion on JT Daniels' performance this past weekend as the quarterback for the University of Georgia?
Well, here's a funny part of that whole situation, because we in the SEC have been waiting to see him play. Okay, and the circumstances in which he didn't play, still left to be, we have to take what the coaches say. But I thought that he was very precise. He showed veteran experience. He showed football awareness that allowed him not to have deer in the headlights look. And we love that as head coaches. We love that that gunslinger has to have the guy with a nice comfort level and mojo about it. I think JT Daniels did a very, very good job with that. Unfortunately, it's probably a little too late, but it has positivity for Georgia going on further on, and they'll be back to where they're supposed to be, up there with us. Okay, and that's where it should be. We should be sitting right next to each other, playing in the SEC championship game, then we play in the national championship game. It should go like that. And Daquan Mathis, guess what, Vincent? He can sit and watch and learn and not get thrown into the fire, and maybe he'll have more composure. Keep in mind, these kids did not have a regular off-season, preseason. They didn't have a summer. They did not have a spring. So I thought JT Daniels did a fantastic job for those Bulldogs.
Your final word to end the video tonight.
Listen, we're getting close to the season, getting close to the end, and every time you pop on the screen and you hear about schools having to shut down, my prayers for everybody that's involved with athletics and sports, whatever sport it is, please try to maintain a sense of safeness and security and properly going through whatever we have to do to be safe, and then find a happy time. Tell the people that in your house that you love them, give them a hug. Don't ask for money, just give them a hug and tell them you love them, and that needs to be able to spread some love and some happiness around here. And then let's enjoy these football games. And after you finish eating all that food, everybody go take a walk around the block because we're going to need it. Okay, I started yesterday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We need to do that. I just finished up our football season. It went well considering we had 18 kids out there that never played varsity football, and we had a tough season, one of the toughest regions in Georgia high school football. Hats off to all those teams that are going to the playoffs: Westlake, Langston Hughes, Lovejoy, Tucker. Hats off to them. But when it's all said and done, I think the joy for me is being able to come home back to my family. I wasn't sick. I didn't get hit, with a COVID case, and I didn't walk in fear. So when it's all said and done, my leaving parts are, hey, listen, we've gone through some tough times, America. Please stop, take a moment, tell somebody you love them, you care about them, give them a big hug, and then let's sit down this Saturday at 3:30 and let's watch the Roll Tide roll.
If you like the video this evening, please comment and share it. As Coach Jones said, enjoy Thanksgiving with your family. Be safe during these holidays. And as I always end it, thank you, Kevin the Bull Jones, for joining me this evening. My name is Vincent Turner, a.k.a. the baby son of Chester and Inez Turner from the 901, Memphis, Tennessee. Y'all be blessed this weekend. Thank you for watching this evening as we broke down Alabama and Auburn. And have a wonderful, wonderful holidays.